I want to talk about your money now. Great piece on 60 Minutes last night about the FDIC and its role in bailing out banks around the country. 17 banks have failed so far across the United States just this year. Joining us from Washington, FDIC Chairman Sheila Bair. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
17 so far this year. If you looked into your crystal ball, how many will fail by the end of this year?
Oh, we don't make predictions like that. We have said the number will go up, and it will continue to go up, but we've been preparing for this for some time, so it's well within our capacity to handle.
Well within your capacity, and you said that last night, but does the FDIC not need more money in order to do its job?
No, I think it's important to emphasize, as the 60 Minutes piece did last night, that we have industry-funded reserves that we rely upon and are relying upon to cover losses. Right now, we've already set aside $22 billion to cover losses that we project will occur over the next 12 months. After that, we have $19 billion left. That said, though, we'd like a bigger cushion. We'd like to be prepared for all contingencies, so we are increasing our reserves, our assessments to bolster our reserves some more.
Right.
And overall, we're fine, but it is important for people to understand we're backed by the full faith and credit of the United States government, so the money will always be there. We can't run out of money.
Right. So there is a move afoot in Congress to increase that funding by at least $200 billion, right?
That's right. To increase we have multiple lines of credit, but the main line would be increased to $100 billion with some emergency authority to go above that.
But this wouldn't be like TARP money. This would be money that the banks then in turn would still back up, right?
They would still, that's right. If we had to borrow, they would have to repay. That's right.
Okay. Here's my question. There's this growing, well, I don't know if the number is growing, but at least in terms of volume, number of people who are saying, we should let some of these big banks fail. Let Citigroup fail. Let some of these giant banks fail. From your perspective, is there wisdom in that?
Well, I never comment on open and operating institutions. I do think for the smaller institutions, we are closing them, we're selling off the assets, transferring the deposits to healthier institutions. This does have a cleansing effect on the economy. The weaker institutions are sold off to the stronger ones, and that overall facilitates greater lending. It works for the smaller banks, but for the larger banks, legally right now, there's no resolution mechanism for larger banks because of they're really banking organizations, so not just an insured depository institution. So there's some practical difficulties. So we're supportive of the approach the Treasury Department is using right now to support through capital investments and try to write some of these institutions through a supervisory process.
So if your money's in a regular old mom and pop bank in the neighborhood, it's safe up to $250,000.
It is safe. That's right. Go to myfdicinsurance.gov if you have any questions about your deposit insurance limits. Yes, make sure you're below our limits.
Chairman Bair, I was talking to my banker at Chase this weekend, and he said that there's no limit, that you can take as long as you like. Is that true?
No, that's not true. For insured deposits, your access is virtually uninterrupted, and it was nice. The 60 Minutes piece really made that clear last night. The bank was closed on Friday. Saturday morning, people still had their money access through the ATMs, through their checking accounts, whatever. And it is important because we find there are some scam artists actually who go on the web. I've seen this, and they say it will take years to get your FDIC insured money back. So take your money out of this nice, safe bank CD and go buy gold or a high-risk insurance policy or something. So this has been a source of misinformation. Please, people should understand their insured deposits, even if their bank closes, is virtually uninterrupted access to your insured money.
Virtually uninterrupted? The longest?
Virtually uninterrupted. Virtually interrupted. Well, there is no statutory, if you're saying there's a statutory requirement that we provide uninterrupted access, no, that's not the case. But in point of fact, we do provide uninterrupted access, and every single bank failure will demonstrate that. That is the process. And again, the 60 Minutes piece made that nice and clear last night.